Lisandro Martinez is ready to start. Welcome to the United Hotspot. Erik Ten Hag's official pre-match press conference ahead of our home game against Newcastle United. Now, it has been a painful couple of days from a 4-0 thumping by Crystal Palace to a near fight against Arsenal where we lost narrowly by a goal to nil. Well, will Manchester United return to winning ways, or are we going to be beaten for a second consecutive time at home? The hope is that that's not the case. Like, share, and subscribe to the United Hotspot as we do keep growing together. Now, here is the man we've all been waiting for. Well, Lisandro Martinez has been, I think, one of the most missed players in Man United, and Erik Ten Hag has clearly expressed how disappointed he has been in this season, especially because of the injuries he has had to two important defenders in Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw. They are so important to how he plays, and we see when they do return, the levels of Manchester United try to go up by a notch. Now, Lisandro Martinez has been training, but the manager was yet to decide whether he's ready enough to come. Even if he was ready to play against Arsenal in terms of his own judgment, the boss felt he wasn't. So he thought, wait a little bit. But now, Erik Ten Hag himself has confirmed that Lisandro Martinez is ready and he will be in. But we shall be waiting to see what happens with Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Those two will be subject to late fitness tests, but chances are, I think both of them could be back, because the plan most likely is for the two to be all of them to be available for the FA Cup game, the game against Manchester City. It should be the bigger target for Manchester United because it's a title at stake there. It's a title we're looking at. And if you have all your players, we certainly know that we can surprise and upset Manchester City. So if you ask me, if these players are even 70% fit, I think honestly, they must be given some bit of time. Remember, Amad Diallo, who has been a revelation, at least judging by how he performed in the last game where he started. I've said it here before. There is no way you can judge Amad Diallo's ability to start and play well if you don't give him a chance to start. But he started, and I thought he played the best he has played, even with so many minutes he has had off the bench. I think that was his best performance as a starter. So he's probably more of a starter than an impact substitute. But he's not there because he's, according to the sources, he will be probably available on the 19th. That's the final day of the season. That's when we might expect him to return. So meaning either Anthony returns into the fold, so Garnacho maintains the left wing, Anthony goes right, or Marcus Rashford returns and slides straight back into the starting 11, because my feeling is Rashford, Bruno, and Lisandro Martinez need to be playing all of our remaining games if they're even 70% fit, so that by the time we get to Manchester City, they are fully fit. We need to prepare them. And we're looking at these two Premier League games left as warm-up games for them to get proper match fitness, other than thinking that we are going to keep them until the FA Cup final and they come and will be 100% match fit for Manchester City. It doesn't work like that. So that's why in my predicted starting 11 that you're looking at right there, I think for me, these are the changes I hope Erik Ten Hag makes in this game. For starters, I'll start it off with the back line, where I expect him to make two changes. One, Lisandro Martinez sliding back into the starting 11 on that left-hand side of the defense. Don't play him with Johnny Evans. I think it's okay in this Premier League to try and and see what Kambwala can do. He's a natural centre back. Yes, Evans is good. He's an important player, but I don't think he's fit enough to play so many games lately. He's not 100% fit. I think he was substituted in the last game because obviously he's not 100. So he probably asked or requested to be substituted off, because he usually does that. I've seen it with my eyes. He signals the manager, my minutes are done. So yes, he can start, but if he's not fully 100% fit, then Kambwala could be starting with Lisandro Martinez. Start trusting the youngsters in these games that do not really mean a lot. I don't think this Newcastle game means everything for United. It's a good game, a good opportunity to give a trust and belief to these young players, the Kambwalas would like. So let's see what Kambwala can do with Lisandro Martinez. So that would be my preferred partnership, not Casemiro again going back into central defense. So Lisandro Martinez and Kambwala. Dalon goes back to the right, Wan-Bissaka on the left. Then in the middle, Amrabat has got to be starting. I think for me, this is the game where Erik Ten Hag has got to rest Casemiro a bit. We need him to be in the right mind for the FA Cup final. I think it will be an important game. There is no way if he's fit, he's going to be benched. But I think we can afford to rest Casemiro for this game against Newcastle. Amrabat has put in the shift. If Bruno Fernandes is fit, let Casemiro rest. and let Amrabat start in Erik Ten Hag's number 6 in as his one single holding midfielder or the single pivot. Then Kobe and Bruno be playing in front of him. That's my honest opinion. With Bruno, of course, cutting more into the number 10, but also dropping back a bit. Then up top, Hoyland, certainly. Then Garnacho and Marcus Rashford. That, for me, would be my ideal starting 11 if Bruno is confirmed later and Marcus Rashford is confirmed fit as well. They need minutes in their legs because this should be considered as preparation for the FA Cup final. I think the fact that most of our important players who we must bank on for the FA Cup final against Man City, if you're going to have any chance, have not been fit and playing. They need minutes, so play them. So for me, that's what will be my take. In the event that Bruno Fernandes doesn't pass the test, then let Casemiro come and play with two number 8s. Amrabat sits at the base. Then we have Casemiro and Kobe. Don't tell me about Scott McTominay. McTominay can come off the bench and make impact off the bench. Then if Marcus Rashford is not fit, Ahmad is not there, then certainly it's got to be Anthony. So switch the wings. Garnacho goes back to the left, let Anthony go to the right. There is no option. But for me, the most important thing is to see Lisandro Martinez starting because Erik Ten Hag is in the habit of saying he has not been playing for a long time. He can't start. We introduce him slowly. There's no time for that. There is no time for that. These players have got to be rough. Erik Ten Hag has got to be rough. These are players who are professionals, who have played football all their lives. They should be able to die a little. Even in the World Cup, I don't think Lisandro Martinez was playing 100% fit. Yeah, I don't think so. So these players know what it takes to play at this level. There are sacrifices you've got to make. If you're even fit enough to make the squad, a player like Lisandro Martinez, under the circumstances Manchester United is in, shouldn't be coming off the bench. Put him right there as you prepare him for minutes to come. This squad here, I think, can, of course, if it were me as the manager, I wouldn't assemble them the way they look there. I would really play proper two blocking midfielders. I would play Amrabat and another blocking midfielder, Kobe, on the other side, then Bruno in 10, or Bruno in 8, Amrabat blocking one side, Bruno on the other side, then Kobe in 10, or Bruno 10 and Kobe on one side of Amrabat. But knowing that our manager loves to play single pivot, that's what he does. So that's why I stick to his shape, which I find unbalanced because you're looking at a Newcastle side that beat us by a goal to nil in the reverse fixture, and they'll properly stretch us. These boys, the Alexander Isaks of this world, these are proper bowlers who can come out there and stretch us and get and obliterate us. I think if we are not careful, if Crystal Palace beat us by 4 goals to nil, this Newcastle can beat us by 4-1 if Bruno is back, 4-1 or 4-2. They will score many goals if we maintain Erik Ten Hag's preferred shape. Because the lineup they beat by a goal to nil had Maina and Scott McTominay and Bruno Fernandes in the middle. Rashford was on the right, Garnacho on the left, and Martial up top. My thinking is in the defense, there was Luke Shaw playing central defense next to Harry Maguire. They beat us by a goal to nil in that one. My thinking is this time around, we'll look a little better. I think if Bruno is back, Marcus Rashford is back, Martinez is back and starting, I think we'll look a little more firm in the back line, a little more compact in the middle, depending on how Erik Ten Hag adjusts his team. Because I think for me, the one player who deserves to be starting based on the last performance is Sofiane Amrabat. That's why I would sacrifice Casemiro. He needs some bit of rest to be pushed away from the flack going his way from the supporters. It's going extremely ugly for him. His confidence is definitely down. He's not in his right element. So let him rest for a game, or maybe come off the bench at some point if we are leading the game and you want to kill it off. Because Bruno has been injured. If he comes and starts, then you can pull off Bruno and bring on Casemiro to support in maintaining the lead, if in case we are leading, or if not that, if it's too bad, then Amrabat is tired because you can't guarantee that Amrabat will still have a good game. There is no guarantee about that. You pull him off and bring on Casemiro later. But the reality is, I think Casemiro needs to be protected from the wrath of these unsparing Man United supporters. So rest him because there is an able deputy in Sofiane Amrabat who has proven that he can actually go out there and try to perform. So for me, those will be my changes based on, of course, the news we're getting. That is if, because I've told you Lisandro Martinez is the only confirmed returnee for Bruno and Marcus Rashford, Erik Ten Hag was keeping his cards closer to his chest. But from what we gather, I think they will be back because they've been training. It is just, of course, Erik Ten Hag trying to take some bit of time to see to it that they are at their little best. But I think they will be good enough to come and perform. This is the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. Subscribe, and I will catch you later, fam.